enough. All right, West. We'll go top. I think it was more four. Top four, wasn't it, with them, with the West?
Yeah, it was more in the top four. I think so too. Top four, top five. It's kind of a toss up. But anyways, Golden State won. I mean, they can punch their own teammates. They're still going to be number one because they have Steph, Clay, maybe Draymond, depending on discipline activity. But regardless, as long as you have a healthy Steph, healthy Clay, and some bench guys, you're making the playoffs. And there's no doubt about that. And with a seasoned coach and Steve Kerr, who's won multiple titles now, I just don't see anybody taking over them. Yeah.
Anyone giving them significant amounts of trouble out West?
No. I mean, honestly, aside from themselves, yeah. I mean, I think it's again. I don't see it as more as everyone else. I think it's more themselves. So, well, not because of the punching. More so, it's because hey, they drafted James Wiseman, number one overall pick, like 3 years ago now, and he's still searching to see where he is, what he's going to do, because they've been waiting on him. They have Jonathan Kuminga, who's pretty good. So it's another year for him. He'll be the backup power forward. But again, it seems like if anything's going to beat them, it'd be themselves.
Fair enough. All right, Phoenix, you got next. They have they still have pretty much their top three guys, right. So they'll be good again, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think it's a similar thing to if anyone's going to beat them, it's going to be themselves. This time, I say more along the lines of A, Chris Paul's health. That's always a question mark. B, though, the whole DeAndre Ayton stuff, that was during the preseason before he signed his contract because he wasn't very happy. And even though the contract was done, he doesn't seem still thrilled to be there. And that can cause a real problem in the locker room and with the chemistry in and on the court.
Yeah. So. All right, and then who did you have three?
So three, I had the Clippers.
That's right.
So a lot of people have the Clippers as more as a 4-5 mainly after Memphis. I chose them over Memphis simply because while Memphis did get some exposure to the playoffs, they don't have seasoned stars like Paul George, Kawhi, or you could even argue the other two like Reggie Jackson, Marcus Morris. They don't have these seasoned guys to have been there, kind of done that. So I think then that's what gives the Clippers a little bit of an edge. And then you have like behind Reggie Jackson is a guy, John Wall, who he's been several places, but has never really seen playoff success. So he's probably very motivated this year because now he sees, oh, I've got these two younger guys who are superstars. I really want my championship.
Yeah. So I feel like they match up pretty well again. Who do they have at their center's position? Because I was going to say, I feel like they match up quite well with Phoenix.
Yeah, they have Zubac. Zubac.
Yeah.
Zubac's been there for a few years. And like Phoenix, they have DeAndre Ayton. He's a great center, but they can outplay him given that they have a Kawhi and a Paul George and Reggie Jackson being a good kind of two-way guard as well.
Yeah, because you can just stick PG on or Kawhi on Booker, and then I feel like they match up quite well.
They would, yeah.
All right, and then Memphis is at 4.
Memphis is at 4. John Moran, he's the next big thing. He's like AI second version. But Memphis, they're still pretty young. Again, they got a little bit of playoff exposure last year. Unfortunately, they kind of got injured towards the tail end of that as well. The problem is they're just so young. So they've got great young starting lineup between Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, John Moran. But then it's like the Miami problem. Okay, who's your power forward? Can you name it? Even if you're a Memphis fan, can you name me who your power forward is?
Zach
Probably
Randolph.
not. Probably not, because it's a guy from Loyola, Maryland, who you drafted last year in the back of the first round, Santi Aldama, who's like, he's from where? And so that's the problem, is they're just so young. I mean, even their bench, Tyus Jones, Zaire Williams, Xavier Tillman, they're all like Brandon Clark, they're all under 30.
Yeah.
So
they don't strike me. It doesn't seem like they match up particularly well with those other top four, like, or those other top three teams, just based on like when it really comes down to it in the playoffs. And it's kind of like not that it turns on into like a 3-on-3 or a 2-on-2 game, basically, where you've got your like top 2 or 3 guys, like, and then depending on how good your like the last 5 minutes of playoff games, like that's what you count on. All the other ones have like 2-3 guys to go for, and Memphis really is just Morant, isn't it? There's not really another. Like you could argue, like maybe like Brooks or like 1 or 2 others, but like at the end of the day, like he's the only one that you'd put on the same level as Kawhi and PG, or Booker and Chris Paul, or Steph and Clay. Like,
yeah, and if you were to like say, hey, Memphis against Golden State probably having home court advantage or something like that in the series, it's like Morant gets canceled out by Steph, Bane gets canceled out by Clay.
Oh, Bane's the other one, yeah.
And then Brooks gets canceled out. So then it's like
okay. Jordan Poole. You still have Jordan Poole with Golden State, and it's like, who do you go?
Right. See, well, they lost on Porter, but you got what's his name? But you canceled him out with Andrew Wiggins. That's what it is.
Oh, right. Of course.
So then it's like, okay, then you're left to the power forward center position. I'm definitely Draymond and a Kevon Looney, and even a Kuminga and Wiseman. That's gonna be a Tillman, Steven Adams, Aldama. That's gonna own them.
Yeah.
And then with these other teams, it's like, hey, they might be vulnerable at this spot, but hey, Patrick Beverly, he's a pretty good defender. And just points wise, I could see George and Kawhi just putting up more stuff in other positions.